Noah, how are you doing? Is the wrist? Did you have to have surgery?
It was a minor procedure. I'm great though. I appreciate you asking.
I know that you had to go through a lot of injuries throughout this season. How was it for you just to get through it and just to get to this point?
Um, it's a sense of relief almost. I got time now to work on stability in places where I was having injuries, obviously ankles, etc. And a chance to better my game before we come back next season. So that's always good.
With the ankles and also the wrists, what will this offseason look like for you and just kind of what is the recovery process in these next couple of months?
It shouldn't be long at all. Again, the procedure was minor. So I should be at this casting back going fairly soon.
You talked about taking the summer and being able to A, recover and then B, work on some things. What are some of the biggest goals for the summer, things that you want to work on? Is it adding bulk? Is it strength? What are the things you want to work on?
Strengthening all parts of my body, being able to trust my body in certain positions is important. And then on the court, just overall game. I got to be elite out of a closeout, things like that.
When you evaluate what you were able to do offensively in the system that Jordy was running, just kind of how'd you feel about the spots you were in, and what are the areas of your game that you think are important, with the positions that you were in within what you guys were running?
I think this year I was mainly floor spacer, and I think I did fairly well at it for most part of the year. But again, being able to make a second decision, third decision out of those closeouts. Got to a point where teams started to realize like, okay, you can shoot, but make a decision, and I got to be better in that decision making process.
And then defensively, just how'd you feel about the spots you were in there and what you were able to accomplish?
I think I did all right, but inconsistent. That probably been my biggest thing. I was inconsistent defensively, and I think I could have been better. So I got to do better in that.
What either like mentally or preparation wise maybe surprised you, or did you learn about like what it takes to, start or just be in the rotation consistently, when you were playing, or even if that was any different than doing it in Long Island last year?
Um, I think like anything, the best way to go about it is to get reps at doing it. There's nothing that can prepare you for the league besides playing in the league, in my opinion. So I think that now that I got a lot more games under my belt, I've learned a lot more, and I know how to approach this summer versus my first summer where I didn't have as much experience, and I was just trying to better myself with no clear direction as to where I was trying to go going into the summer.
No, you mentioned that the jump shot really got going, and teams started to respect you quite a bit. How, I guess, satisfying in a way is it that the work that you put in really paid off with the jump shot? And then how do you feel like, you kind of mentioned you want to feel like you have an overall game that, you feel like if I put in the work, X thing is going to happen positively?
So it's a good feeling when shots are falling and teams are respecting it, whether it's because the shot is falling or because you shoot so many that they obviously just don't want you to get as many up or whatever the case may be. And then for the second part, I think you kind of got to work to gain that confidence. So that's why I think I need a big summer. That way I am comfortable doing everything else and not just shooting. And I can do that confidently going to it.
No, everybody, on the team has spoken about how big this summer is going to be. And, with the organization, having the draft picks they have, especially free agency, how does it make you feel knowing that, this time come September that this team could look a lot different in, amount of young talent or even vets, whoever comes in the building?
I think we all know that nothing is guaranteed right now for a lot of people here. So what the team's going to look like then, or what the team looks like now, or what it's going to look like then, I don't think it's going to make any difference on what I need to do in the summer. So I'm not really concerned.